4, 5 in the morning. I remember seeing the sun come up sometimes.
Yes.
And we'd still be arguing.
For real. and I would really be sitting there like, why does she get my point? Like, why doesn't she understand my point? Or why didn't you want to understand my point? Like, I really just didn't understand it. And it'd be times, like, I just go to sleep. And I would go to sleep knowing that she's so upset, she mad. I can't believe you just gonna go to sleep and this thing is unsettled.
I think a lot of times women hate to be wrong. They hate to be wrong. They want to feel like they're always right. The man is always at fault.
Right. we always wrong for everything. Is that like a generational thing, do you think? Like
I really think it's how you were brought up. I can't say that every woman is like this because I can't say that, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But I would say probably the majority of the women are like that, you know, or at least used to be like that until they reach a point where they are at a maturity, growth standpoint where they're like, okay, I'm not always right.
Yeah, I think for me, I was brought up that way to apologize. Apologize first. You do something to your sister, apologize, you know? So it's almost like second nature. And I think for men, the one thing that we hate is for our woman to be mad at us. So even when we're right, we'll still sit there and apologize because we don't feel like having the situation drawn out any longer. Like, we are very simple beings, so we don't like anything long and drawn out. And in the beginning of our relationship, our arguments was long.
4, 5 in the morning. I remember seeing the sun come up sometimes.
Yes.
And we'd still be arguing.
For real. and I would really be sitting there like, why does she get my point? Like, why doesn't she understand my point? Or why didn't you want to understand my point? Like, I really just didn't understand it. And it'd be times, like, I just go to sleep. And I would go to sleep knowing that she's so upset, she mad. I can't believe you just gonna go to sleep and this thing is unsettled. It was unsettled with you, but it's settled with me because I didn't see the point of having it long and drawn out, right? Why is it that, you know, couples oftentimes go through these long drawn out arguments instead of settling and getting right to the point?
A lot of times it ends up being that when you're in an argument about this, it reminds you of all the other stuff that you were upset with your other, you know, your significant other about. And you just start pouring out everything that you're upset or were upset with them about. So you're not just focused on,
why are you bringing up old stuff?
By the end of the argument, it's like, what were we arguing about to begin with? Because all this other stuff came up that we didn't deal with. Or maybe we did, but maybe I wasn't okay with the result. You get what I'm saying?
Is that, I'm gonna go here, right? Is that a thing where, do you feel that subconsciously the enemy tried to use is in marriages, in relationships, to, it doesn't matter, male or female, it doesn't matter, like where either party would bring up something of old, where they'll, you know, enemy will whisper, remember this, remember that.
It's
back
to
in the
prolong
day?
it,
you know, and to prolong the thing, because it's like the more fuel that's put in the fire, the more division can
absolutely,
you know, happen. Yeah,
and a lot of times, like, even now, I have become mindful of, like, even if something wants to pop up in my head, I'm like, nah, that was already settled, or we already dealt with that, because we haven't had an argument or a disagreement that has been drawn out for hours like we used to when we first, you know, started dating and stuff. But I feel like we just got into a place where we're just not beat for the drama, not beat for the super long arguments, all drawn out. And I'm mindful now of, okay, the enemy may be trying to put that in my head, but I'm not even going to go there. And I'm just like,
Right.
Nope, this is what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
We're not talking about that. That was already talked about or
Right.
handled or, you know.
I think that what will help couples is understanding the concept of what's in the past is the past.
That's
right?
the thing. A lot of people want to keep bringing up
keep
the past,
bringing up
and they
something.
don't want
Right.
to just dead it.
Right. I don't want to sound harsh, but it's like you can't bring back the dead. If a situation is finished, if a situation is done, you can't bring that thing back to life because it's over with, right? So deal with what is current at the moment so that you can move forward into the future, right? Because oftentimes what will happen, we try to dig up something of old to prove a point because our ego or our pride is shot, right? And we feel wrong or we know we're wrong. So, well, remember you used to do this and you used to do that and this, that, and the third, where really what we're doing is we're trying to pull something out the hat just to win the fight, just to win the battle, just to win the war or whatever. And that's not necessary. You can't win a war with someone who's on your same team, right? The war is not between, husband and wife, right? The war is far beyond that. The enemy will try to make you think that the war is between y'all two, but in reality, it's between y'all and them, right? That's what we have to understand. I would say that we have to get to a place where both parties have to understand what submission truly is and understand that we have to understand one another and not necessarily build up on this particular thing because it made you tight or made you upset, but analyze that thing. Was I really wrong? Let's think about that for a second. What did I do? Why is this person, especially my wife, why is my wife upset, truly upset? And take the time to understand why she's upset, man. Let's not sit here and be like, oh, she just tripping for no reason. No, there's a reason. The reason may not be something that you value, but she values that reason.
And a lot of times, like, a female may not want to take accountability, and they're just, well, he did this, I think a lot of times if we focus more on looking at what we're doing rather than what the other person's doing, like pointing the finger at you, look at yourself in the mirror. What are you not doing or what are you doing wrong? Rather than being like, you did this, you did that, I'm mad at you because of this. What are things that you've done? What are you not doing? You get what I mean? And I think that if you pointed the finger at yourself rather than the other person, I think that will help a lot of marriages.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share this video with your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, abuela, abuelo. Share with everybody, right? You want more inspirational content, make sure you hit the notification button so you get all the inspirational content that you need daily. Let's go. When we change the mind, we change the game.